very low-key week in the Broadway world, full of holiday cheer, where nothing crazy happened at all. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay. Please make yourselves comfy for something that is going to be probably very frustrating, so just sit tight. It's gonna be a while. It's probably gonna be a long video. Beetlejuice is enjoying sold-out houses, $1 million a week grosses, and many videos on TikTok. So what's next? Closing. Yep. Yeah, you heard me right. Closing. According to the New York Times, Beetlejuice is closing on June 6th, 2020, and not by choice. This isn't because of a current struggle to keep up their box office numbers. Not at all. They just broke box office records at the Winter Garden. So what's the problem? The Shubert organization, theater landlord who owns multiple theaters on Broadway, has ordered the production to vacate on June 6th to make way for the upcoming revival of The Music Man starring Hugh Jackman, Sutton Foster, and being produced by Scott Rudin. We will get to him in a second. So I read this news and I knew I immediately had to make a video. I have so many things going on right now. If you can't see like off to the side, there is so much laundry over there right now that like even Mary Poppins would probably look at it and like probably cry. I did so much research for this video. I feel like Elle Woods like right at the end of the Legally Blonde remix. Video continues. If you like videos about pop culture, but especially about Broadway, please make sure to subscribe to me and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I make a brand new video. So first of all, I'm incredibly appalled that this whole thing is even happening. It's only partially because closing night is on my birthday, June 6th, but like that's a, you know, very minor factor, but I just like have to put that out there or else I will feel like I'm going to explode. Now, let me tell you how this piss poor business decision came about. The Shubert organization, who owns the Winter Garden Theater, has a stop clause in their contract with all of their shows where if that show doesn't meet an agreed upon box office gross for 2 weeks, the Shuberts can boot out that show whenever they want. And this happened to Beetlejuice in May, but since June, their box office numbers have been going up. Nevertheless, the Shuberts then sent a letter to Beetlejuice on October 1st saying that they have to vacate their theater by June 6, 2020. Now, ever since The Music Man was announced, it's always been announced with Scott Rudin's name as the producer, and it's always been announced that the show would play a Shubert-owned theater, but no one knew which one though. Rudin, like a 60-year-old Veruca Salt, looked at the Winter Garden Theater and then went, I want that one! Here's the tea. I've never actually met the guy, but from what I've heard of him, he's a slime ball. Oh my gosh, I know! A guy that looks like this could be so terrible. How shocking! What a surprise! I would use other words to also describe him, but then YouTube would demonetize me so fast. The Wire shared that this dried up wad of gum wearing a beard, quote, sometimes vents his anger by throwing phones and office supplies. One time, he fired an assistant for, quote, bringing the wrong kind of muffins to a breakfast meeting. He also closed Shuffle Along prematurely because Audrey McDonald was pregnant and she wanted to go on maternity leave, but he didn't like that, so instead of letting her go on maternity leave, he just shut down the show. That's real. That's 100% real. If he were graded on a scale from A to F, he would get a Z-. When he eventually goes to hell, Satan will see him for the first time and go, ew. The only reason anybody wants to audition for this living, breathing catastrophe is that he's brought some of the biggest hits to Broadway in recent years. He produces Book of Mormon, To Kill a Mockingbird, and the recent revival of Hello Dolly. He's also produced a lot of movies like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Lady Bird, and 8th Grade. I'd like to apologize for ruining every, you know, musical and movie that you love, but I'm not the one who did it first. This guy did it first, so. And there was even an attempt to move To Kill a Mockingbird to another theater so the Music Man could play there, but Rudin couldn't agree on a price, which is exactly what a butt wipe of a human would do. Now, I know that the 15 people that are watching this video are gonna comment down below and go,
but Lindsay, you don't want to trash talk a powerful Broadway producer because he'll never cast you in anything ever.
First of all, if you're saying that, it kind of sounds like you work with him, and working with him makes working at Urban Outfitters on Black Friday sound like a ball of fun. Also, like, if you need me to call the police, just like, let me know, because it sounds like you need it. Second of all, everything that I shared above is based on fact shared by people who've actually worked with the guy, so there's no slander in this video. So like the Shuberts telling Beetlejuice, let's shut this down right now. Third, have you seen my videos? Based on my track record. Cool, okay. No one's hiring me, so let's just like get that out of the way right now. Fourth, based on Rudin's track record of shows that he likes to bring to Broadway, do I look like any of these people who share a very common trait that is quite apparent. Oh, the paleness. Oh no, the whiteness, it's blinding me. Oh no. And there are other individuals who will comment down below and say,
but all producers are like this.
Okay, but that doesn't make it okay. Also, I wasn't implying that every other producer is like Mr. Rogers. Like, we just found out a couple years ago that one from Hollywood is a sexual predator. And there's probably more, let's be real. So back to Beetlejuice. What's more troubling about this announcement is that, you know, the closing announcement isn't accompanied by another announcement saying, hey, Beetlejuice is transferring to this theater at another time. Despite the fact that the show is bringing in so much money and the other fact that it is introducing a lot of young, new people to theater, the Shuberts seem to not be interested in keeping the show going at any other theater. Mamma Mia transferred during their run so that the Winter Garden could make way for Rocky, which did not sell well. Let's just like also put that out there right now. And now to really ruin your day, let's do, you know, comparing a little bit of numbers a little bit. These are Beetlejuice's numbers as of last week, and these were Mamma Mia's numbers the week that they announced that they were transferring to the Broadhurst Theater. Keeping Beetlejuice around would mean more money and also introducing even more young people to theater, and who knows, maybe those people will grow up to be theater landlords and theater producers who will know not to make boneheaded decisions like this. You're probably also thinking, what rational person would make this decision? They don't have any moral. I think it's because they are so hot-headed that they have alienated themselves from every other like rational person in their life. But despite all of this, I still think the show can be saved. Something tells me that June 6th will not be their last performance, and here's why. No one is telling the show that they have to close. They're just being told to vacate their theater. And the producers are open to the idea of moving the show to another theater, and I have a few ideas. So come January/February, there's gonna be 3 theaters that are going to be vacant: the Lyceum, the Court, and the Marquee. I've heard rumors that another show is going into the Marquee Theater after Tootsie closes. I asked which show, and the person went, and not to be a downer or like wish harm on another show, but also the Tony Awards are also another time where shows close, and that could be a reason of like a lack of Tony nominations, a lack of awards once the award ceremony has come and gone, a lack in ticket sales due to like a lack of, you know, nominations or a lack of awards, or just like a mix of everything that I just mentioned. So come May/June, there will be even more theaters that will also be vacant, which is also around the time where Beetlejuice needs a theater. Convenient. Another concern of the show is that it has a lot of technical elements that are specifically designed for the Winter Garden Theater at its fairly large stage. However, the show did also announce that it is launching a national tour very soon. And normally when a show develops a national tour, some of the technical elements are also adapted so that it can play lots of different theaters with lots of different stages, you know, lots of different cities around the country. So with that in mind, I think those technical elements, if necessary, could also be applied to the show in New York, and let's say maybe, I don't know, another theater. What a crazy thought. I know, just a, you know, an idea I'm throwing out there. But at this point, a show that has doubled its advanced ticket sales, increased its advanced ticket price, and seen an increase in their group sales is going to close to make way for a revival that will close 3 months after its leads barely finish their contracts. So things are going great. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if the show moved to another theater. I'm hopeful that it will. I feel like they could find another Broadway house soon. But for the next 6 months, get your popcorn ready, because it is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. No matter how this plays out, this will generate horrible press for the Music Man, and then their audiences in that Winter Garden Theater are gonna look like, you know in like La La Land when like Emma Stone's character does her one-woman show for 7 people? Like that. And if for some reason the Winter Garden Theater, the soon-to-be former home of Beetlejuice, somehow haunted by supernatural spirits through various events to maybe, I don't know, kick out the Music Man, I wouldn't call it a coincidence. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on this crazy situation, and if you also need to vent, I feel like you probably will. You could do that in the comments as well. Also be sure to share with all of your Beetlejuice loving friends, and just any friend who's a fan of you know, morals and dignity and, you know, that kind of stuff. And also be sure to subscribe to me and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I make a brand new video. I'm here every Wednesday. You can find me on my social media down below, and I'll see you all next time. Screw you, Scott Rudin!